kind of business we call a family business. But they are not just businesses in this country started by Africans which are still going. So he was very clear about conduct. He was very about being fair to members of the family. Again, he always says something. He said, if I start a business, I don't have jobs. Whom should I employ first? Definitely I have to first employ my family. Now, the picture of this was something different. That you know business collapse because of employing family members. I would say no. If you bring something to the family, you must separate of the family as a base of the desire that they need to be trained. And he made sure that all of his family who could go back to school, went back to school. He made sure they went through the school, and some of them here. And he made sure that something they came back to the business and they go. That's in the so this one. When people came to work, they observed the rules of the business. When they went home, there's a gentleman who used to call him Paul. I don't know. Is he about?
So as they are preparing for the quiz, they should look at basically tourism information.
He's the only one who can understand how he made them work. He made them work 24 hours non-stop as they strip these cars down and pack them in containers and send them. After they had worked for 3 months in Japan and they had loaded all these containers, you take the same team and come with them to Kampala. And that's how I first came to meet him. And he was with the group and Aruna here, and they were offloading. And I think the person who was counting the money again was the late Agent, your sister, who passed away. She was the only one who counted the money. I think he had a belief that the ladies were more careful with counting the money. So Aruna never counted the money. He left it to the ladies. And that was the man, BMK, whose life we are celebrating today. And I want, once again, as I end, to thank the Ministry of Tourism for thinking of this. I think there are very many other Ugandans who have followed in this mold. Not very many. A few other Ugandans who have followed in this mold. And have created some businesses that need to be assisted. That family model. And it works. If you look at the Mabanis, the Metas, and the Kwanos, these people have kept their businesses going. So I think we also can do this. And BMK, in his life, his behavior, his conduct, he showed that it is possible. I thank you for listening to me, and may you once again celebrate the life of a great man, a business icon, a leader, a father, a brother, an uncle, and a friend of many. We thank Allah for the life of BMK. Thank you so much.
Wow. That applause cannot be enough. And thank you, Prof. I don't think we could have found a better person to give a heartwarming legacy of a man who lived a true life. An entrepreneur with a Midas touch. I like that one. We can only crown the life of Haj BMK with an ovation as we clap for him. Yes, we shall all stand up in honor of the late BMK as we clap for a minute. He deserves it. Fantastic. Will you take your seats now? Dear chief guest, at this juncture, I would like to invite a group of panelists who are going to discuss the paper that's just been delivered to us, the life of an entrepreneur with a Midas touch. In our midst, I have the pleasure, before I invite the panelists, to welcome and recognize Honorable Latif Seragara, Member of Parliament, Kawempe North. Those are challenge strong. I can't call your names yet. Okay? Let me have the honor now to invite people who are closely related and dealt with the late blind Chilike. First is my very good friend and mother, Mrs. Susan Mugwezi, the President, Uganda Hotel Owners Association, an entrepreneur herself, and a lady of valor. I love the way she carries herself around with a smile. She's very graceful. Well, when you're married to an honorable MP, you naturally become an honorable. So, Honorable Susan Mugwezi, please take up your seat. Next is a man who is very passionate about tourism and politics. No wonder, this week, he is the chairman board of the Uganda Tourism Board, a former minister and a very astute businessman running a lodge down in Jinja East, and a Muko, I married from Musoka. So, OHD, Honorable you're welcome. I'd also, in the same vein, like to invite someone who interfaced with the late on a daily for 2 decades plus, and who related with him intimately, confidentially, and in order. Ladies and gentlemen, about if you 5 minutes. I think 5 does it for us. Since we are not on a campaign platform, the key subject that I would like you to discuss now are the lessons that we pick from the legacy of the BMK. How can the country harness from the history and legacy of the BMK? I'll start with you, Madam Susan Mugwezi.
Thank you very much, our Honorable Minister and our Chief Guest, the Deputy Katikiro, and the BMK family, and all invited guests. I think especially what we have heard from the Honorable Minister, what we have heard from Professor Sejaka, I think they really covered who BMK was. But what I learned as Susan Mugwezi, but also as someone very passionate about the tourism sector, is that BMK was the epitome of what a Ugandan should be. He loved his country. He was visionary. And why do I say this? I will just mention the fact that he was just not one of the founders of Uganda Hotel Owners Association. He was the founder. And he put together 9 members. And how he picked them and who they were shows who BMK was. He picked people from different parts of the country. At the time when he founded Uganda Hotel Owners Association, I doubt that anybody could have envisaged picking ladies, women so to speak. There were 7 men and 2 ladies, and I happened to be one of them. And I wasn't a hotelier people. So was the second lady, who happens to be Hajat Timba of Provad. I'll just mention the members. It was Kalim Hirich. It was the late Edward Nsuga of Rancho the Lake. It was Mr. Otile. It was Susan Mugwezi. And you can see when I say my laugh. I was in shock. It was William Biarhanga. describe how he could have picked any of us apart from Karim Hennessy and Mr. Wakamuno. But the rest of us were just beginners. But he had a vision of how he invested the hospitality and tourism sector in Uganda. And at that time, the tourism sector was nothing to write home about in this country. So as far as I'm concerned, and I think many of the hoteliers and many people in the tourism sector, we applaud the late BMK for his vision. And I can remember very clearly when he called me, I said, wow, we have just purchased a Jeep motel. And I said, why would he put me among the founders of the hotel industry? But the late BMK wanted to make this sector one that is run by Ugandans, indigenous Ugandans, without excluding foreign investors. He didn't exclude them, but he knew that for the sector to survive and for the sector to work, it needed Ugandans. I always know, and the Honorable Time here, that we call it the movement promoted women. But as far as I'm concerned, the person who actually promoted women after the movement was BMK Chibiliki. And we can attest to this today when we see that BMK, the way I remember Hotel Africana, you either found his wife at the reception, his sister, and many others, together with the gentleman. So that's one area. The second point that is very important to me, he was not selfish to share knowledge. He was not selfish to share business ideas. When he formed the Hotel Owners Association, he made sure that he lobbied government to create not only a conducive environment, but he lobbied for areas that had the private sector, like investment incentives. That was the first time we got VAT exemption for hotels, and I thank him for that.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Susan Mugwezi. I'll move the mic straight to Honorable Daudi Eko. Okay, that's okay. Feel comfortable. How do we enhance that Midas touch among all the investors that we have in the country, local?
First of all, I want to thank the Chief Guest for turning up and for the Chief Host for organizing this wonderful memorial lecture in recognition and commendation of the wonderful work done by Dr. Chibiliki over the years that have helped us to get the hospitality and tourism sector in the country at the level at which it is. I had a problem. I tried to look for Professor Sejaka. When they say professor is going to make a presentation, you want to look at what he's going to present so that you don't become irrelevant. You stick to the guidelines he has given. Unfortunately, we never confirmed, but we couldn't compare the papers. Nevertheless, you could not have found a better person to talk today about BMK. One, he understood him very well. He worked with him, but he's practically our best professor of business in the country. And therefore, when he takes the things he has stated, the people from Akere who are here, the people from Moods who are here, from people from UHT who are here, the practical businessmen and women who are here, you must take notes, because this is what embodies success in the business at the end of the day. This thing of his book, Story of Building a Fortune in Africa, is a must read. If you have not had time to read for it, read it. I remember Madubai Madufani wrote a book of more or less a similar title. It also has a real business story to tell, but more importantly, the opportunities that are biggest, not only here in Uganda, but Africa. Because when we are here, many of us are lamenting about this and that. The leaders of this world, they were not lamenting. They were looking out for these opportunities. They would seize them, and the world around them would turn to the betterment of himself, his family, community, and country. We need to do this. I want to say one thing. This PMK was never constrained by race, geographical boundaries, let alone his level of education. To go and start a business in China when you even don't know Chinese, to go and start a business in Zimbabwe, Zambia, when you have never stepped in Zambia, but you hear the opportunities and you are there. The businesses you are starting in various African countries, many of the people associated them with either Asians, white men, or people from the Middle East. When you saw PMK in the restaurant, PMK in Saka, you thought it was someone from the Middle East. They say the man is Arabic because of his color. But he was an Ugandan. And God had given him that talent. God had empowered him with a business vision. And we must thank God for the gift of his life and for the many things he was able to do. For Ibrahim to have seen the opportunities that NRM government had ushered in, conducive political environment, conducive investment environment, liberalization of the economy, and immediately saw that there was an opportunity for something unusual. But he did it. He saw opportunities in the nascent hotel and hospitality industry and settled for it. He was able to identify this piece of land, as the minister has pointed out, very conveniently located, strategically located, open to practically everybody. And he said, that's why I want to make a hotel. And it has done wonders. I can tell you that decision was not a minor decision in as far as the economy of Uganda was concerned. Even in the politics of the country. When we were busy trying to see whether Uganda could host Chogam or not, the issue of hotel capacity came up and featured strongly. Yes, we talked about a Commonwealth Resort in Nyonyo, by then it had become Commonwealth Resort. We talked about Imperial Group, but we also talked about Hotel Africana. And everybody in government was confident that Ibrahim would make space available for Chogam activities. Ever since that time, everybody knows Uganda has the capacity to host any international conference that is slated for Uganda. That is not a mean achievement. And I can tell you, we are now, right now, we are on the list of countries, and we can bid for the Commonwealth, we can bid for non-aligned movement, we can bid for Pan-African Parliament, and it is because people like Shiriki did the work that they did at that time, and that has made all the difference. I want to finish. The other point I wanted to make is that, the other point I want to make is that we talk about a brand, we talk about legacy. Any of us who are in a business world here, you want your business to live on long after you have left. And when we come here, they say Chibike died, but the business is running. Immediately we say that is Chibike. When you go to Moroto, in the middle of nowhere, and you find Hotel Africana Moroto, Chibike. Now this one of Papani, this one of Arua, he demystified this thing of investing outside our home areas. When you get money, you want to run to your home area to invest. This man was here in Kampala, he went to Moroto with the Karamajang, he goes to Arua, he goes to Lusaka, and I can tell you some of these places were never easy places. In Karamata, they remembered the gods that were residents, supposed to be residents in the area where he was going to construct the hotel, but he persevered. In Lusaka, getting a response to any letter is a Herculean task. He persevered, and the Hotel Africana Lusaka was built. My view is that Chibike worked not only for himself and his family, he worked for Kampala, he worked for Uganda, he worked for the African and German human race.
I want to thank you very much, Honorable Dominic Jacob. Well, Haji, you also want to come to the podium. The big question we would like to hear from you is, having listened to a very interesting inaugural speech from Professor Sejaka, there's that aspect of the Midas touch. How can BMK help the legacy of BMK, of Braimu, to endure forever?
Our chief guest, the hosting minister, members present, good afternoon and thank you for coming. The person we are talking about was very big, and what was in his brains, I think, was bigger than what would accommodate over 1,000 people. This is a man I first saw with a year plan. He always had a plan of 2 years. He would tell you, say now, in 2025, on such a date, I'll be in Japan or I'll be in Zambia. And I'll be going with so and so, and we shall take so much money. He was so articulate. He would either miss by hours or by day. But there's no way some of us here take it as a serious issue. Minister, tell your people that if you want to be successful, have a young plan, know what you are going to do tomorrow, what you will do in 10 years, and what you will do. Like Professor Sejaka said, he taught himself English. True, he did. He always came in at 5:30, he had a teacher, and he had to teach himself in order to be abreast with what was going on in business. For those of you who have not had enough, go back and read. Like he said, he was very honest. He lost money in an airport in Hong Kong. I think it was between 70 or 100,000 US dollars that was stolen from him. But because he was trustworthy, he continued the journey. And the suppliers gave suppliers goods at suppliers' credit. And he made sure that whoever was in cash here had to pay, and that money was paid. And you see how luck also moves with the people who are honest. Let me thank Mrs. Mwezi. You talked about Mikoba as a founder. In actual sense, he looked very far and said if we came together, we'll be very solid. And that's how most of the hotels got the exemptions, and those exemptions are still running. I would like to thank the government, Honorable Time, Honorable Migeleko, Honorable Janat Mukwaya. We thank you very, very much, and we convey our sincere thanks to the President and the entire cabinet, Honorable Time, who was still there. Tell them still enjoy that We even have another one still running in Moroto, where we have Moroto Hotel. They talk about that, and that one is where the president saw him and put him the presidential round table representing tourism. I thought to Mrs. Mwezi, we forgot that one, but that one should have been yours, not for me. With what Mr. Honorable Jericho has said, Chogam phoned us ready. We had the 251 rooms. We had this hotel. Look at it. The man we are talking about had a vision. He designed it. There's no pillar in the middle. Go to all the hotels, the halls in Kampala. They have columns in the middle. People have come here to copy it. He would come here in the morning, stand here, direct the people who are roofing it and building. He had everything in his brain. Never mind who you are, copy what he did, then you'll be successful. After hosting Chogam, we hosted the Chamber of Commerce, the Islamic Chamber of Commerce, and he was a member of those who hosted that one. Don't fear, go in whatever conference or seminar or whatever the government organizes, be there, show a presence, chances are there you'll be able to make money. Like I said earlier that he taught himself business English. He took workers from here to Italy. In Kenya, we taught how to run a hotel. For those who benefit him back here, talk to the staff. He was such a brilliant man in that he knew 98% of the workers by name. Imagine, you have over 400 or 600 people, and he knew all of them by name. So he was gifted. God had given him a chance. He lived the full life. At times he would joke. But when he came to work, he was a very serious man. We were balancing. I think we had a function, and I failed to balance for 1,000 shillings. He said, you just did. But how would 1,000 to him? So, know it that every coin has a purpose. If not used, it must be returned. You must be trustworthy. People, when you become rich, you tend to forget the poor. He never got the poor. Here we started collecting used clothes, used shoes. We distributed these clothes to Moroto, to Kasese, to Utambala, to Soroti, and so on. Look at a person who is thinking of people who are not in the region where he originates from and looks very far that those people require clothes. As I wind up, like I said, he had jokes. One time he would work seriously, but then there was time to laugh and joke and so on. He challenged me and his wife, Hajati Sophia Mwanga, that we've been doing exercises, let us walk up to Entebbe. We started from here at 6 a.m. We reached Entebbe around midday. But later in the evening, while I was sleeping at home, he called me and said, can you come to the hotel? And I told him,